Hello everyone! Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Scott Lehman and this is another quick little video from Colorado Man Yoga. I've had a lot of people recently ask me, what my wife and I eat to stay healthy in these times when, sometimes the grocery store can be a bit of a mess. And this is a smoothie that my wife and I eat, most days out of the week. And it kind of varies a little each day because she's a big fan of variety. She wants a little bit of variety in every day. And, I get that. Not everybody wants to eat the same thing every day. So we'll go over some of the ingredients and kind of what I use in our smoothies that we eat. And we'll make one together. And remember, if there's ingredients here that you're like, I'm just not quite sure about those, why not give them a try? Be a little adventurous. There's going to be some fun stuff in here today, though. So thanks again. Let's go over some of the fun ingredients that I like to start with. So usually the liquid that I like to start out with is some sort of dairy alternative. You're welcome to use milk, you're welcome to use water, whatever suits you, but I like almond milk. I just like the taste of it. Nutrient wise, it's pretty good, but that's usually where we start things out with. So I'm going to start out with 2 cups of almond milk. Usually about a cup per person is kind of what I like to aim for. That was just about right there with 2 cups. Next, I like to start out with add a banana. I usually like green bananas, but you use what you can get right now. I've already peeled one of those up and throw that in. Next, I like to put in kind of whatever fruit is available this season. And right now, since it's at the end of winter, kind of going into spring, citrus is still really big. So you can get awesome oranges right now, but grapefruits would work well, or really anything that suits your needs there. I like the sweetness that oranges this time of year kind of bring to the smoothie there, so I'll just throw the whole thing in there. You can peel it by hand and just throw it in there. I cut it up ahead of time. Next is kiwis are pretty readily available this time of year, so I'll give these guys a good wash. I'll give them a good scrub, and I'll actually leave the fur on, or the skin on. The only thing that I'll cut out would be like the stem, because that's pretty hard. The blender doesn't always get that, but give it a good scrub and then cut up into a couple pieces, toss the stem out. It goes right in there too. Now we're getting into some more fun ingredients. I like blueberries, but I also like a variety of berries, so depending on the time of year we'll use some different ones. But frozen blueberries, usually about a cup is what I'll kind of aim for, but again, it's all relative, use what you have. And then next, you're going to be really surprised about this one, but I'm a big fan of beets. If any of you root vegetable lovers have not had a beet smoothie, I highly recommend it. I'm not going to throw a raw one in there. What I usually do is we'll peel this bad boy here, and then I'll cube it, and then I'll steam it. And if that sounds like a lot of work to you, most grocery stores have prepared beets in the produce section. Costco does, King Soopers does, any of the grocery store chains, they usually have beets prepared in that produce section, so I would check them out. It's really not that much work though. Peel it, cube it, steam it. You could use them raw too, but some blenders may not do a great job of chewing up a raw beet. The reason I like beets is there's so many great things in root vegetables, not to mention that beets are naturally really sweet. There's a lot of sugar in these, and they do a great job of sweetening up a smoothie without actually having to put sugar into it. And of course, everybody loves sugar tied to fiber, right? It's the right kind of sugar. So I'll put in there maybe half a cup, maybe a whole cup, sometimes just a handful, whatever I have available. So today we put in half a cup in there for you. Next thing that I like to add there is chia seeds. It's a pretty popular one too. I like chia seeds because of all the fiber, and it kind of makes your smoothie a little more substantial, a little thicker, so it can be a good meal replacement here. And I'll use, a tablespoon-ish, somewhere around in there, nothing too big, nothing too small, and you can always eyeball that. If you put too much chia in there, oh boy, is your smoothie gonna be thick and substantial. Remember, drink lots of water when you eat things like chia, all right? Sometimes we'll put in oats. I like to go with a gluten-free variety from Bob's here. It's always been good. Sometimes I'll just sprinkle in a little bit, and that's, again, another great job of getting good fiber into your smoothie, as well as, adding a little bit of substance to it. And like I said, I'll kind of just eyeball it. Not too particular, maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2, maybe a little more. Next, I'm a big fan of real peanut butter. I know some people, how they feel about peanut butter and nut butters in particular, but I like this brand, Adams, because there's literally nothing in it except peanuts and salt. It's that jar that you can see in the peanut butter aisle that's usually kind of separated because they don't put any emulsifiers or anything in here to mix up your peanut butter. It's just peanuts, salt, It's so good. This and the beets go surprisingly well together. To me, it reminds me of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but peanut butter and beets. You know, it sounds odd, but hey, it's gonna be great. I recommend giving it a try. Same kind of thing, I'll kind of eyeball it, you know, a tablespoon-ish, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Let's scoop another big chunk out of there, scrape this side. It's all your personal taste. Hey, if you've got another nutrient-dense nut butter that you're all about, you know, hey, more power to you. Choose the nut butter that works well for you. All right. And this one goes back in the refrigerator. And another one you got to keep in the fridge. No preservatives. Sometimes we'll use yogurt or yogurt alternatives. Maybe I'll pour just like a little bit of that in there, just because I like the tang that yogurts often bring to things. Also adding to your microbiome. I love that. Live stuff, more live stuff in your smoothie, good for you. A couple of the things that I put in there from time to time. Mushroom mycelium. I know this one's gonna sound a little out there. There's a scientist that I follow, and he's all about the nutrients and science behind mushrooms. And the lion's mane mushroom in particular, this one right here, he's made kind of an extract tied to brown rice that you could put in foods. And I really like lion's mane. You know, I can't particularly say, you know, hey, this has done something for me, but I'm all about making things nutrient dense. The more healthy, the better. Totally optional. You can find this stuff on Amazon. Host Defense, one of my favorites, lion mane mushrooms. There's a bunch of really healthy mushrooms though. And then last but not least, actually we got two things. One thing I like to put in some of my smoothies is this is a nut-based protein powder. So if I'm at the gym or I'm working out or doing a lot of yoga classes and I know I'm gonna be really physically active, I like the nutrient density that you can get from like nut-based protein powders. And again, it kind of adds to that nutty flavor. This one in particular is kind of chocolatey, kind of nutty. And I always like to read the ingredients of what goes into these too, because you don't always have to have animal-based protein powders. I really like this one. They sell it again, another Costco special you can get. And then last but not least, some leafy greens. I'm all about, you know, whatever leafy greens you can get your hands on in there. Sometimes I'll get the big boxes of like mixed salad mix. This in particular is just spinach. So again, just like a big handful of it, a big fistful. Throw it in there, put it up as much or as little as you want. And it may look like a lot, but once it's all just blended up, it's really not gonna look like much. It's really not gonna add much. And again, it's all about that nutrient density. What other good things can I get into there to make a smoothie healthier, more substantial, and more meal-like for my day? So let's throw that on the blender here. Ooh, we lost a leaf. And we'll fill her up. And I think we covered everything. We got all the good things. Yeah, let's blend it up and drink it. All right. Scrape the sides here, make sure we didn't miss any goodies getting stuck. Now, if it was just me drinking this smoothie right here, I would leave it like this. It's still a little chunky. I like a chunky smoothie. I like having the bits and pieces to chew on. My wife in particular, she wants it smooth, like velvety smooth, and hey, you know, to each their own. Find the consistency that works well for you. And since she's gonna be having some of this, yeah, of course, I'm gonna blend it a little smoother here. Great, let's give it a test. Let's see what this is gonna look like. I don't know about you, but I am very hungry. My wife and I do intermittent fasting 5 days out of the week, so it's approaching 1 our time, so it's a little late in the day, but that's all right. We find it works pretty well for us. Having like a really healthy lunch, that time delayed eating works really well for us. So that bright, vibrant color, the blueberries and beets really add to the color, give it that deep, rich color that you like there. And yeah, you can see the different chunks in it, and I am very hungry and very excited to try this. Again, it gave us 2 adult servings based on just kind of eyeballing things as well, and I've got a little extra in there because I'm always hungry. I'm very gonna happily eat that there. That'll be a great little snack later in the afternoon. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have questions about any of this stuff, let me know, or post your favorite smoothie mixture in the comments below. And again, if you have any questions or want me to cover anything else, feel free, reach out to me. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for bringing me into your home, friends, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video here in the near future.